Now here we are looking at infrared satellite. Here's Hurricane Melissa. Hurricane Melissa is basically taking over the whole island of Jamaica, but the southwest corner is the main area that we're highlighting for that potential destructive winds and that landfall. If we are looking right here, here is the eye of Melissa currently moving off to the north and to the northeast. Once this eye passes halfway over the island, that is when we will see landfall issued by the National Hurricane Center. And if we are taking a look from the most recent National Hurricane Center update, very extreme wording, dangerous and life-threatening situation, don't leave your shelter, things of that nature, trying to urge people to stay in their safe spots. This is rivaling some of the strongest landfalling hurricanes in Atlantic history, with winds of 185 miles per hour and a pressure of 892 millibars. Only very few systems previously has dropped below sub 900 with the pressure, and is a telltale story of how intense this hurricane actually is. Now, you've probably heard of the 1935 Labor Day hurricane. Here's the photo of it below. Made landfall in the Florida Keys and into western parts of Florida. This was the strongest landfalling hurricane in Atlantic history. And if you look at this, this has 185 mile per hour winds and a lowest pressure of 892 millibars. That's what I mean when I say that this is rivaling some of the strongest landfalling hurricanes in American history and the Atlantic history. It's very interesting to see how this has unfolded with Melissa. Now, Air Force 303 was the flight that did get the 893 millibar sounding, and as we do look here and see, they came out from the southeast, but as they managed to get into Melissa right before landfall, so this is very telltale sign that this was strengthening right up until landfall with Jamaica. But we can see right here, right there in the center of the storm, 893 millibar. Another Hurricane Hunter mission got 895 millibar. Extremely low pressure and an extremely intense hurricane. Now, I have touched base with this before, but I do want to discuss why Hurricane Melissa became such an intense hurricane. And right here, we are looking at all the tracks from the 2025 hurricane season, and it has been a very fairly random season. We've had a few landfalling systems here in Mexico, here on the coast of the Carolinas, but most hurricanes have remained out here in the Atlantic away from land and have become major hurricanes. There's only been one system down here in the Caribbean, and that is currently Major Hurricane Melissa. Nothing has occurred all year in the Caribbean, and that has been something that has helped with Melissa to become such a bombing cyclone. Now, one thing that did help Melissa to intensify was the sea surface temperatures, or the extreme warm waters in the Caribbean. We can see that right here. Here's the Atlantic Basin. Right here, right by Jamaica, Cuba, all of this, we have some very, very dark reds and pinks beginning to pop up on this. Some of the most intense warm waters of the season are actually in this area, and it was perfect placement for the wave that created Melissa to continue on further west. Once it cleared out all that shear, the wind shear, once it got ample moisture, it just absolutely bombed out, and that's why we saw such intense rapid intensification and why we are seeing Melissa at the stage that it's at right now. Another thing that I do want to point out is last night, as we were seeing Melissa begin to intensify, one of the reasons why she was able to do that was because of the jet stream winds beginning to pull out from the United States. It was able to help intensify Melissa. That's also something else that kind of just was in such perfect placement that a development in intensity was able to skyrocket. And now we're kind of at a point where Melissa is so intense, there's not really much that was stopping it, and she has intensified right up all the way till landfall at a whopping 185 miles an hour and 893 millibar pressure. So definitely going to be interesting to see how this comes out in the future. I'm curious to see if her winds or pressure may be upgraded or changed in the future, depending on what they find post-analysis. But as we get past portions of Jamaica, we get all the way out to Cuba and the Bahamas, and still major hurricane status expected. It's predicting Category 4 status, but I would not be shocked if that Category 5 status could remain a little bit longer than forecasted, especially due to how intense she is right now. And as we continue this, this is expected to remain major hurricane status as it impacts eastern Cuba, and then as we get towards the Bahamas, before eventually passing the Bahamas, it weakens in a Category 2, Category 1, and then all the way out back towards the Atlantic. So definitely going to be a devastating storm. I'm worried to see the things that come out of it impact-wise, but definitely something that we've just got to keep an eye on and continue to forecast as best we can. I am extremely proud of the hurricane hunters and the National Hurricane Center, as well as the various meteorologists and weather enthusiasts that have did their part in attempting to get the word out. You guys are doing a great job. Keep up the great work. You guys are trying your best, and that's all anybody can ask. My name is Christian. You can follow me on X. Link is in the description. Have a great day. Stay safe. I'll see you guys in the next one.